Is Viola there?
Speaking.
Hi, this is Justin Kantor from the
Hi,
Groove.
Justin. How you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Oh, great. Just trying to do my algebra.
Yeah, I remembered you said that in the email. How's that going?
God. Oh. Don't ask.
I know. I have mixed memories of algebra in school.
God.
That's great that you're pursuing it, though.
Well, you know, I've been trying for ages to pass algebra. Algebra is the thing. It's the last class before I can go on.
Okay. So what program are you in now exactly?
Well, I'm just really in the last course. I was trying to get my AA. That's all. You know, I'm just trying to get it so I can get to Cal State. And there,
where are you now?
Theater.
Where are you? What school are you at now?
Cal State and San Bernardino.
Okay, that's where you are now. Okay. And so the AA, what exactly is that? I don't know.
It's just it's for the junior college.
Okay.
You know, it's just when you graduate. It doesn't really mean anything.
Oh, okay.
Well, I tell you, I think that your choice to have another thing besides performing is a very wise one, because performing it depends so much on everybody else's whims, you know?
Yeah, true.
Whereas when you have something solid, you know, behind you, like a journalism background, even if you have to go in with someone else, you do have a background that gives you that certificate in. You know,
right.
It gives you the credentials. And, I mean, you don't really get those credentials as a performer. I mean, you know, it's just, you know, people see performers as things or objects.
Right.
You know, that they own, that they control, and they really don't have a lot of respect for the artist. I mean, you find that out as you go, such as myself, because I've had different levels of success in the business, and the relationships that you make with people. It's really just ordinary people who are not in the music business. You know, they view musicians. It's strange how they really They view you. First of all, they put you on this pedestal.
Yeah.
Because they think, you know, you're so great and wonderful. Wait a minute. On one hand,
I know.
they put you there, and on the other side, you're just like nothing. I mean, they don't really have that. They really look down their noses at you.
Yeah. Just sort of as the puppet.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's too.
Well, because that pedestal is more from just the media aspect or the star aspect, but the looking down is more from the actual musicianship point of view, because they don't necessarily view music as something serious.
Yeah, they look at it, well, I mean, plus it's not as most stable. Most of my friends now in my era are very stable. You know, they have stable lives because they didn't go into the music business. They went into a, stable business.
Yeah.
And they're running around in their jets and their whatever, you know, and living like, because they did things right in the earlier days. They got a foundation. And I am sitting around waiting for the next gig or the next...
I know, it's rough.
So, you keep that journalism up.
Yeah, I'm just trying to do that. Well, I'll tell you, when I was coming up with the questions for this interview, I just thought, wow, you've done so much, and there's just so much, that you've covered, in the music, with all the different genres you've been involved in, and
I've been here a while.
Being with different groups, and being, with so many labels, and so many experiences, and especially looking over all of the articles you have on the website and everything. It was just amazing. And so you're originally from Watts, California? That's where you're from,
right?
Yeah,
it's called South LA now. South Central now.
Okay, that's the same thing, right? I didn't know it was synonymous. That's cool.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
So what was childhood like? I mean, what are you...
Well, it was pretty... when I look... now I've had a time to assess it.
Yeah.
I look back and I think it was okay. It wasn't like the kids come up nowadays. I think, even though I did come up in an all-black neighborhood, there wasn't the gangbangers and the drive-bys, and it was, in fact, I live in a very sedate world, because it was kind of, in those days, it wasn't all built up, and it was really countrified and everything.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about the 50s, and that's when it was just, everything was different,
Yeah.
So, and my world was very cut off from the lower, I'm not going to say we were poor, but I didn't live in like the projects. So,
Yeah.
I wasn't exposed to a lot of the street life sort of issue. I mean, I'm sure they had it going on during those times, but I wasn't exposed to it. I was one of these little Christian girls,
Mm-hmm.
And I stayed home a lot. I didn't have a mother. My mother died, so my grandmother is kind of influenced me to her world, which was all about gospel, and she liked, believe it or not, she liked the hit parade. She loved all pop music. That's how I got exposed to that kind of music.
I'm sure someone you know from that time is one singer I've gotten into lately is Sister Rosetta Tharpe.
Oh, I heard of her, yeah.
Did you ever hear her stuff? Because I know she was still performing at that time, and she was like the first, really the first black one, I think, to, really have success. Is not only did she sing, but she played guitar, and she traveled around the world doing this, and really was initially a controversy in the gospel world because it wasn't the music. It wasn't the sacred style. It was
traditional.
Yeah.
Oh boy, she was around today, she'd die.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, the music, I can't. I just don't. I guess it's because of my age and the era that I came up into. I didn't come up into it. Like if you were born in this era, you wouldn't know anything about traditional music and wouldn't have any reason to.
You just have to really
different.
You have to dig and study it. That's what I've done because you're right. You're not going to hear about it on the radio certainly or in the media. There's not much attention given to that. So
that's one of the reasons why I love it so much because you don't get to hear it. And a lot of times when I go to these churches and they want me to sing, that's what I'll do. I'll sing a very traditional song. And
yeah.
The church just goes to pieces,
Yeah.
It's just, the roots of music, and when you go back into the roots of music and even to the classical, which is where I was trained, I actually got classical training because, maybe you've known through some of the articles, if you read anything on me, I had a scholarship. I won a scholarship when I was younger. And
to Los Angeles.
And I started getting involved in classical music. But I'm just saying, the farther back you go into music, the more melodic and beautiful it is.
Yeah, more pure, you would say, yeah. So, did your grandmother influence your interest in music, or was it just something that you just came out of you?
It was just me.
It was just you. Okay.
She was just a house singer. She'd warble around the house, or whistle. She liked to whistle, but it wasn't much of that she did to influence me. She gave me the story that I used to just sing in the crib, In fact, I've done a theater show, a stage show of my life, and I did it, and I mentioned the first song I sang was "There Were 12 Cakes in the Shitty Hallelujah," and the fact that I used the word "shitty" was so funny to my grandmother because it was kind of funny, and I kind of used that in my show to show that that I was always singing.
Was that, what song was that? Was that a lullaby or something?
No, that was a gospel song. There were 12 gates to the city, hallelujah. There were 12 gates to the city, hallelujah. It comes from it comes from an old spiritual.
Okay, wow. Interesting. But that, you said, was shitty? Was that one of the words?
That was shitty.
That's how it was pronounced. Okay.
That's how I pronounced it.
That's how you pronounced it when you were. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Because I didn't know at first if it was initially like a term used differently or something,
and it just went out. I was a baby singing. Okay, shitty. My grandmother would just have a hoot. She'd have a hoot.
That's great. Wow.
So she would tell me how I started out singing. That's how I know how I started out because she would always relate that story to me. She said, "This girl was singing when she was in the crib, blah blah blah." And
so she raised you herself.
Yeah.
Basically, wow.
And she's the one that basically made me realize that, I could sing.
And did you have other siblings?
Well, later on, my father had, he got married again because my mother died. He got another family, and then I had a sister and a brother, a couple of brothers through that marriage,
Okay. So, I imagine, though, back then, you probably weren't thinking, I'm going to pursue music as a career.
Oh, honey. Let me tell you something. Justin, honest to God, if I had never discovered that I could sing, or my grandmother in those younger days everybody hadn't hooped and hollered over me singing. And even today now, if people didn't go so insane for me singing, I wouldn't even do it.